continue to be inspired, continue to learn, continue to dream, continue to get to the bottom of a lot of the things that, you're curious about. Be passionate about whatever it is that you find and to continue to do it with all your heart. So whatever that thing is that you find to do it with love.
Welcome to the Live, Love, Survive, Thrive podcast that helps you embrace life's challenges, grow through adversity, and discover your true potential. I'm your host, Dr. Kimberly Hubinet, anti-aging dentist, widow, author, and inspirational coach. I live by the can-I philosophy, constant and never-ending improvement, and I'm here to help you do the same. Each week, we'll dive into real conversations, powerful stories, and practical tools to help you heal, grow, and thrive. Whether you're rebuilding after loss or ready to step into a more purposeful life, this space is for you. Let's grow, evolve, and thrive together. Hi, everybody. I am Dr. Kimberly Hubinet of Live, Love, Survive, and Thrive, a podcast about living life to the fullest and checking things off of your bucket list after your loved one has passed away. And here today, I have a special guest, a friend of mine, and a great person that I've known for over, I want to say, for the past 5 years, I've known this person. And he is a very good dog trainer. His name is Troy McDaniel, and he is a dog behavior coach and self-published author. So I want to welcome you, Troy. How's it
Hi,
going today?
thanks for having me. I'm doing well.
Yeah. So I've known you for a long time. You have trained my dog, Dakota, and
Mhm.
you've been a really good asset to our little family here. You want to tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do?
Yeah, so as Kimberly mentioned, I'm a dog trainer, dog behavior coach, and basically we help people to build better systems within their home. So a lot of people have dogs and they don't really have a structure. They don't really have things to do with the dog. So we would just come and give you the tools that you guys need so that you can have a nice, calm household.
Yeah, definitely. And how long have you been doing this?
I've been doing this for over 5 years.
And what's unique about your training? Because you call yourself a dog behavior coach instead of just a dog trainer. Is there a difference between calling yourself a dog behavior coach and a trainer?
Yeah, so the difference comes down to the results. So a dog trainer, traditionally, they'll come and they'll actually train your dog. But the problem what we were noticing was that even though the trainer leaves, the dog isn't responding to the actual dog owners, the people that called the trainer. And so my approach is more personalized, it's more hands-on, and we get to the root of what it is that you guys are experiencing so that people can have a more harmonious and calm household because we know people are, working, people have kids. There's a lot going on in just everyday life. So if we have an animal that is mismanaged, it can create more confusion and more stress than possible than what you need. And so we come and we de-escalate that stress and we help you guys to deal with the dog in more efficient ways, not just telling the dog a command and expecting the dog to just obey, but knowing the tools and knowing what to do to actually help the dog understand what it is that you guys want.
Yeah, and like, how does it correlate to my podcast, Live, Love, Survive, Thrive? I mean, when I met you, I had lost my husband of 20 years, and I had, like, necessity of I had a depressed dog, and I wanted to open my family to another dog so that my other dog wouldn't be so depressed, and then I also had the challenge of having my new dog learn how to be reacting with my new family as a new family member. And so, I know you lost your grandma also, and how did that affect your life and your dreams and aspirations with your journey?
Losing my grandma, it kinda just pulled the Band-Aid off to do the things that she felt was important. And, I think I told you a little bit off camera, my grandma, she was a military woman, she's been through the Navy and that stuff, so her main thing, discipline. It was structure. And so after I lost her, I didn't have that person to remind me of the structure and the responsibility that is needed. And so basically, with me losing her, it kind of put me in the driver's seat to honor her loss by giving myself a better opportunity and instill the tools that she instilled into me to be a responsible person, to be trustworthy, to let my word be my word and not, back away from it. To anybody that did lose somebody that is trying to figure out what to do next, that would be like one of the first things that I would tell someone is, what was it that they were really passionate about? What was it that you guys really talked about? And, once you get to that area, then you can move forward and you can move on and you can start building.
Yeah, and you told me you had pain and it turned into your purpose, and there were ways that now you serve others because of your journey. So can you tell me a little bit about that?
A lot of my clients, they go through the loss of not just people, but other animals. Like you mentioned, Roscoe. I remember Roscoe. And what we do is we try to help make the confusing, not really clear purpose of why they got the dog, and we try to make it clear and balance, because a lot of the clients that come to me, they are dealing with the loss and they are trying to fulfill that void with another dog. And some people may look at it as being selfish, but when I work with these people and I see that they're determined, they're giving the effort, they're not, so easily to throw in the towel, that shows me that that's a person who's willing to grow and learn with losing another dog or losing another individual. And so part of what I do is I help people to build an expectation that gives them the space and the room to move forward.
Yeah, and a lot of times that when people are sad or depressed and they need something or somebody to talk to, sometimes a pet really does open your life up to move forward, huh?
It just gives you a new sense of purpose. Some people are so dependent on another individual or a certain animal, and so they'll feed their attention into that one particular person or animal. And so when you grow dependent and just comfortable with focusing on that person or that dog, it becomes difficult and uncomfortable to move through life without that person being there or that dog being there. So that's part of my biggest purpose and mission, is to help people to move on and to be stronger than before.
Mhm. Yeah. Like, how many clients would you say need this kinda thing? How many people are, like, dependent on their dogs?
I would say about 60% of my clients come to me because they're dealing with a loss either of a human or a loss from a dog that they previously had, which is no longer in the picture.
Is it hard for them to, like, do they project their life or their on their dog? Like, let's say you have some people, like, buy the same or get the same kinda dog, thinking that it's gonna be the same dog, like, personality. Is that true, or is it not true that all those same kinda dogs are the same kinda personality?
And that's funny you say that. That's almost like saying people that come from a certain region, they all have the same personality. They all act the same, but we're all different. We're all unique in our own ways. And it's the same thing with dogs. You know, some people they get a Rottweiler, and this is so common. I have people that will get a Rottweiler and they'll compare it to, oh, well, I had a Rottweiler when I was 5. And so now you're 35 and it's like, whoa, wait a minute. That's a whole we don't deal with dogs the same way that we used to 20 years ago. We don't do that no more. You can't leave dogs outside. You can't do certain things. And so that's where I kind of come and I help them to build realistic expectations. Some people get dogs with already an idea, and then when they get the dog, if the expectation doesn't meet what their idea was, then they're ready to get rid of the dog. And so that's where we come in to kind of like help people to build realistic expectations and just a framework on this is how it's going to be as you guys are moving, going out throughout life. You guys are going to get up in the morning. You guys are going to do this. You guys are going to do that. And this is what helps the person that lost somebody become more independent, become more of a leader because this dog is expecting me to get up, take them out, do this, do that. So you don't have time to really meditate on the loss of the individual.
Yeah, I mean, like, it forced me, I know, to get up and go for a walk. It forced me to get up and take my dog outside or those kind of things, and if I didn't do that, maybe I'd be laying in bed all day long, sulking or something, sadness, I'm not, like, trying to say that having the dog is gonna be, like, the everything, but it also gave me purpose to get up out of bed, to move forward, to do something. And it also helped me stay energy focused and at least exercise a little bit, you know?
Right, because like you said, you could not have a dog and you could be laying in bed and you can turn to the side to where, you know, your husband used to be and that split second now you're going down memory lane and now all of this anxiety now is closing you in and you don't have an outlet. You don't have a dog that can come in the room that can, oh, okay, let me take her out. Let's go to the park. Let's do this. So yeah, so dogs do help people in a big way to get over the loss of individuals. You're absolutely right.
Yeah. I mean, it helped me for sure. And the fact that it helped Roscoe, my dog, learn how to be a little bit less depressed that his master died, you know, because I wasn't his master. My husband was Roscoe's leader. Then I got Dakota, and now Dakota and he were together, and I had hoped that they would form a bond and he would be less depressed too. And so, does that really happen? I mean, do we expect that that would happen in a dog? That they would feel like responsible also for another dog?
In some cases, yeah, because what I help a lot of my clients to understand is that some dogs they cling to depression. They cling to sadness. They cling to the real low energy. And then you have other dogs, the very high, what are we doing today? What are we doing next? Those dogs, they don't know what to do with it. And so what I always try to help clients to depict is if you're dealing with a dog that is very straightforward, or if you're dealing with a dog that's going to absorb the energy that you're putting out. And if you're putting out depressed energy, not really motivated, not active, then the dog is just going to follow suit. And
Mhm.
so this is why I'll come and I'll kind of help put the client in a different mind frame and let them know like, hey, this dog is depending on you. Like
Yeah.
this dog can't get up and just move. Like the dog is dependent on you. And so this is what usually helps people get out of that funk and to start baby steps. Baby step. It doesn't have to be drastic. It could be, you know, I'm gonna take the dog for a walk this morning and I'm gonna just see how it goes.
Yeah. And you have a talent because I know when that happened to me and I was depressed and I had my dog and then added Dakota to the mix. I mean, you have a talent, and I know that you can read dogs really well. And do you think that it was because of your journey in life, or what do you think? How did you get into the dog's psychology? Tell the audience a little bit about your journey, how you know how to read dogs so well.
So I was a part of a program they did for incarcerated inmates called the Positive Change Program. And so there it was a pilot program to teach inmates how to read and to train dogs using dog psychology. And I took those tools once I was released from the program and I actually started to use it. And where I started was a daycare. I started at a daycare and I started noticing a lot of the dog's behavior issues because I'm in the group and I can read it. And a lot of the other handlers, like, they don't understand. They just know, hey, if the dog's doing this, put a leash on him and put him in the crate. And I'm trying to explain to them, like, no, the dog is doing this because of this. No, you guys keep doing this, the dog is gonna. So after a while working at the daycares, it started to become more stressful knowing all the stuff that I know, then being easier, seeing that, hey, he knows about dogs, so this should be a walk in the park. So I eventually started my own business. And from there, I started to work with a lot of dogs and started to meet a lot of different clients, a lot of different cultures. And so it kind of helped me to pinpoint my purpose and to kind of see where the mix was. And so that's where I started to actually take my talents and started helping people. I found you, I helped you with Dakota. And then from there, it just kind of just took off. It was just a wildfire.
Your heart is so special and your personality is so special that you have been part of our little family, for all this time. And you've helped Dakota, like, gosh, I mean, first it was like 2 weeks with you, and then we went to, like, every week or something, and then we went to every other week, and then now we're at once a month, and I'm never gonna not depend on you for some sort of a uptake or upbringing and training and so forth because you are a special intuitive trainer. So, the one question that I wanna ask you is,
Mhm.
what does live, love, survive, and thrive mean to you? You can pick one of the 4 things, or you can give us a little bit of information about each one of those: live, love, survive, and thrive, and how that keeps you pressing forward with life.
So I'm gonna do it for all of them.
Okay.
So for live to me is to continue to be inspired, continue to learn, continue to dream, continue to get to the bottom of a lot of the things that you're curious about. Love is to be passionate about whatever it is that you find and to continue to do it with all your heart. So whatever that thing is that you find to do it with love. Survive is continuously pressing forward, continuously be inspired, continue to love what you're doing, and to thrive is just to rinse and repeat.
There you go. That's great. Do you have a little story about any one of your particular clients that you'd like to share with the audience?
So I had a lot of clients that dealt with losing an individual or even just dealing with a new dog that they're trying to replace, for the family. And so I had this one family whose son had a slight case of autism. So they had just got a dog and the dog didn't like going in the car, which is common for a lot of pet owners. The dog doesn't like riding in the car. And so I came to help them to get the dog in the car and to be comfortable. And the funny thing is how I did it was I took the leash and I got in the back seat of the car. And then the dog followed me in the back seat of the car. And then I told them, all right, just shut the door. and then they shut the door, and then me and the dog just sat in the car, and then I opened the door, then we got out, and then I told them, "Okay, I want everybody to do what I just did with the dog."
Mhm.
And so everybody one by one, they took the leash, they got the dog in. And what I did was I took a situation that was associated with stress and I turned it into a family filled activity in which everybody's on sync. Because normally what the routine is that we have to get in the car. Okay, you get the kids. Okay, I'm gonna go get the car ready. You so it's like everybody's out of sync. So me just doing that exercise with the family helped the dog to see that he was part of the family and make it easier for him to be comfortable in the car. So
Nice.
that was one session that it was fun for me to do, and it was also a good feeling to see that I could get them results right then and there and explain to them why I was able to get those results.
Nice. So, would there be one or two things that you would like to say to our listeners about what you do and how we can get in touch with you if there was ever something that they would be interested in following you or anything like that?
Sure. If you guys want more information on dog behavior coaching or just resources, you guys can visit packrunit.net. That's PACKRUNIT.net. I'm also on Instagram, Troy DeBoy _7. And you guys can find me at Facebook under Troy McDaniel.
So, just because well, where you are located in Northern California, can you do things for people, like, in other countries or other parts of the world or parts of the state also? Or do you have to, like, go to them?
We do Zoom sessions, virtual sessions, which with my experience and expertise, I can still help and guide you over a Zoom session. It's kind of funny, the furthest I've ever helped a client through a Zoom session was England.
Wow.
Yeah, the lady in England, and she had a dog that was very it's just very hyperactive when guests come over, very bouncy, bitey. And so I did a virtual session with her and we were able to cure the issue that she was having. It was an underlying issue that I had to work with her, but eventually, and the results was that the dog didn't do that anymore.
Wow, that's so neat. All the way from London, huh? That is cool.
I didn't even need a passport.
Yeah. So, I mean, like, now that we have the internet and we can stretch and talk to people from all over the world, it's great to find ways to connect with people. And even with this podcast, I mean, I'm connecting with all these people that maybe I wouldn't have connected with before. And I hope that we have
Mhm.
helped someone in this listening to the podcast today, or maybe you have lost a loved one and maybe you don't know where to turn. Maybe you could think about getting a pet or a dog or, maybe something like that. Maybe we can help you with that. Maybe Troy could be a part of that process as well. Have you ever helped people get a dog? Or a cat or
Yeah.
anything like
Probably not a cat, but yeah,
that?
definitely dogs. We help clients usher in a dog in a environment, especially when there's kids. There's other dogs. You might have elderly people. So we help people to make the best of efficient decision possible based upon their environment and their lifestyle.
Hmm, cool. And do you have a quote that you go by or live by? And then give us anything on your website that you wanna promote or anything like that.
Sure, I have a quote. I can't tell you who it's from, but he said, "You'll never believe what you can do when you have no choice but to do it." And basically, we don't know our abilities until we get to a position in life in which life forces us to get into the position we're supposed to be in.
Yeah, yeah. And you said that you had your website so we can follow you, and you also wrote a book or 2 books, right? Tell us about.
Yes, I wrote 4 books. My latest book is the top 25 big dog problems. You guys can go look for that on Amazon. And I have The Bad Dogs, Experience is the Best Mentor. And that book is my memoir of my time incarcerated, how I learned dog psychology with dogs, and what being incarcerated taught me.
Good. Well, I am so happy that you said yes to come listen and talk to my listeners. I'm sure that you touched the life of one person. And if we could just touch the life of 1 or 2 people listening to this podcast, I'm sure that they appreciate that you came and talked to them on this podcast.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah. So thank you so much for joining us. This is Dr. Kimberly Hubinet of Live, Love, Survive, Thrive, and
Troy
Troy McDaniel.
McDaniel.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you for joining me on this episode of Live, Love, Survive, Thrive. I hope our time together has inspired you to embrace life's challenges, find the courage to overcome obstacles, and create a life filled with love, purpose, and fulfillment. If you've enjoyed today's episode, please take a moment to rate, review, and subscribe to the podcast. Your feedback means the world to me, and to help us continue to bring you stories and tools to empower your journey. And if you have a story of resilience, transformation, or thriving after adversity, I'd love to hear from you. Reach out to me directly at livelovesurvivethrive@gmail.com. You never know, your story might just be the inspiration someone else needs to hear. To learn more about me and my work, visit my website at www.drkimberlyhubinet.com. While you're there, be sure to check out my current book, Grid. Once in a lifetime, you get to start over. A guide to rebuilding and rediscovering life after loss. Get a sneak peek at my upcoming book, Live, Love, Survive, Thrive, a powerful companion to this podcast, and a heartfelt roadmap to reclaiming joy, resilience, and meaning after life's toughest seasons. You can also connect with me on social media. Follow me on Facebook at author Dr. Kimberly Hubinet, and follow me on Instagram with the same name. And subscribe to my YouTube channel at Live, Love, Survive, Thrive for more inspiration and insights. Remember, you have the power within you to write your story and thrive beyond your wildest imaginations. Keep relearning to live, love, survive, thrive every single day. Until next time, I'm Dr. Kimberly Hubinet, and this is Live, Love, Survive, Thrive.